Thank you for being a part of this video today. We're actually going to talk about the community resiliency model, and I'm going to introduce you to a few of the skills that are utilized. But before we do that, let me talk to you about what the community resiliency model is. And the community resilience model is to learn effective wellness skills to help manage any stress, any anxiety, or any other issues that may affect us. And by doing this, it helps create a resiliency-focused community that will have a common understanding of what the resiliency zone is and how we're able to handle life stressors. So what is the resiliency zone? The resiliency zone is a state of calmness of our well-being. There is a high zone, but then there's also a low zone. So we want to strive to be here in the middle zone. But the high zone, you might be feeling anxious, you might be feeling angered, you might just be having a bunch of different feelings that you may not understand. And then if you're here in the low zone, you might be feeling sadness, depression, just feelings that just don't make you feel good. So when we're able to differentiate between those two feelings of high and low, it helps us know that we can come back into this resiliency zone where we want to be. So I'm going to teach you some of the skills. I'm going to introduce you to 3 of the skills that can help when you're not in that zone. Okay, so we're going to start talking about the 3 skills. The first skill we're going to talk about is tracking. And what tracking is, it's referring to paying attention to your sensations.
Okay.
And why is tracking important? It's important because when you're able to understand how your nervous system functions, then you're able to tell the difference between a sensation of distress and a sensation of well-being. So, what are sensations? We have pleasant sensations, we have neutral sensations, and we have unpleasant sensations. So, for example, when you're about to take a test and your stomach is hurting, you're feeling anxious, you have all these uncertainty feelings. But then after the test, you're feeling calm, you're feeling relieved. And that's the difference between pleasant and unpleasant. But we're actually going to do an exercise.
Okay.
And what this exercise is, it's going to track this candy that I'm going to give to you, and I'm going to ask you a few different questions about the different sensations that you are feeling while you're doing this, okay? So I'm going to hand this candy to you.
Okay.
And so as you're holding the candy in your hand, what does it feel like? Is it smooth? Is it hard? Is it scratchy?
It's right here. It's smooth, like the middle part where the actual candy is at feels smooth, and then the ends are kind of like, I guess, like floppy, I would say. It's a plastic wrapper, but it's still like a soft. It's a soft material, soft plastic, I guess you would say.
Okay. So I'm actually going to have you open it now, and I want you to kind of just smell the candy.
Okay.
And what kind of sensation that brings towards you. And even how the difference of the sensation of feeling when you open it from the outside. What's the difference?
So, it's definitely like harder. It's blue. I love candy, so I'm excited. And it's blueberry, which I really like this flavor, so I'm excited. I want to take a bite.
Yes, take a bite.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you feeling as you're eating the candy?
It's really good. I feel like and yeah, sometimes you have like a craving for something sweet. So I guess it would be satisfying.
Okay, so more of like a pleasant sensation.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's just a little example of kind of identifying and seeing the sensations that you're feeling at the moment. So as I give you that candy, how you felt it before you ate it and then after you ate it. And it looks like throughout the entire time you felt more of a pleasant sensation.
Yeah, I noticed that once I saw it, it kind of put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a little, does it understand?
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, being able to identify things that like make me feel happy,
Yes.
and satisfied, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so now that you kind of know what tracking is, there are 2 questions that I do want you to consider in any situation that you may be going through is, how are you feeling on the inside? Like, what sensations are going through? And what kind of sensation is it? Is it pleasant? Is it neutral? Or is it unpleasant?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so now that we went over tracking, the next skill is going to be resourcing. And resourcing is using pleasant or neutral sensations, pleasant or neutral factors to experience sensations of well-being.
Okay.
So resourcing builds a sense of internal strength and resiliency. And within this one, there is 3 different resources. It's external, internal, and imagined. With external resources, it's including positive experience and memories that can include certain people, someone who's close to you, maybe someone that's made an impact in your life. It can include places, maybe somewhere that you like to be or somewhere that's special to you, or any activities that can give you any joy or peace or any just sense of calmness.
Okay.
And internal resources, they include your individual personal characteristics. So whether you show kindness, you show compassion, or humor. And there's also bodily resources. So with these resources, just having the ability for your body to heal from an illness. And then imagine resources, which are the ones that we create from our imagination. So those three are the resources that we're going to be talking about. And sometimes talking about these resources can bring up some different feelings. And if that's the case, that's okay. But you may want to consider maybe using a different resource if that's the case. Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So it could be like for example, going to the beach. So I love going to the beach. It makes me think of like my family. So would that be like a resource?
Yeah, so that would actually be an external resource.
Oh, okay.
Because is it a positive?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a positive memory that you have that you hold dear to your heart.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, perfect. And then just to touch up on resourcing, it builds a sense of hope and it builds a sense of strength to the person by reinforcing your own abilities. Okay. So resourcing, just to make sure you are aware, it's pleasant and neutral sensations. Okay. And after that, we're going to lead into grounding. And so grounding involves your body parts. Okay. And it involves your physical body parts into something that provides support in the present moment. Okay. So, for example, right now, as you're sitting down in this chair, you are being supported. Your feet are on the ground. Your body is being supported by the chair. Your arm is leaning against the table. It's just recognizing all these different things that are assisting you. So I'm actually gonna, so we're gonna do the grounding exercise just so that you are able to kind of differentiate between the sensations, okay? Yeah. So go ahead and find a comfortable position in your chair. Take your time.
I'm gonna put forward a little bit.
Okay. Okay. So now I want you to bring attention to how your body is making contact with the chair. And I want you to go ahead and bring attention to the sensations that are pleasant or neutral.
Okay.
And I want you to notice which part of your body is most supported.
Okay.
And as you're doing this, I want you to pay attention to your breathing and your heart rate. And notice how your back is making contact with the chair.
Okay.
And your feet are making contact with the floor.
Yes.
And if you're becoming aware of any uncomfortable sensations, I want you to bring attention to the places that make you feel at more of a neutral state.
Okay.
Are you noticing the change?
Yes.
So I want you to slowly scan your body and bring attention to all the sensations that are pleasant or neutral as we're going to get ready to end this.
Okay.
So when you are ready, let's bring your attention back to the room. Okay. So I know that was just a simple exercise of just kind of sitting down, what you were already doing, and just paying attention to how it was making you feel. Were you experiencing any unpleasant sensations through that exercise?
No. If anything, it made me realize, like how I wasn't, because sometimes when I'm really stressed out, I get back pain. So I realized that the support from the chair was actually helping me. So I wasn't feeling that pain. I just felt like supported.
Yeah.
And also just the ground.
Mm-hmm.
When I focused on my feet touching the ground, kind of made me feel kind of like strong, like a strength
Okay.
behind it, because it's like hard and solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just to keep in mind, sometimes people, children or adults who have experienced any physical or emotional trauma, this stage can be a little difficult for them.
Okay.
So what we like to do is to kind of pay attention to see how they do in the resourcing skill, and if they're able to differentiate between unpleasant sensations and pleasant sensations, then it would be okay to introduce them to grounding. But just so you know, grounding is a skill that may increase traumatic memories.
Okay.
So just want to be mindful of that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so just to recap, we went over the community resiliency model, and I introduced to you the first 3 steps, or the skills, of the model. There is a total of 6 skills, but maybe we can go over that at a later time. But the first 3 skills that we went over were tracking, resourcing, and grounding. And tracking, again, paying attention to those sensations and being able to recognize the difference between pleasant, neutral, and unpleasant sensations. And then resourcing is using those pleasant and neutral factors to experience a sensation of well-being. And with grounding, it's using the direct contact of the body or parts of the body with something else that is providing support into the present moment. After going over all of the skills and doing a few little exercises, do you feel like you were able to grasp an understanding of what these skills can do to help?
Yes. Overall, I think you did a great job at explaining and helping me kind of figure out the sensations. So, yeah.
Okay. And then I just want to thank you again for being able to sit here and listen to me explain those to you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.